Hi everyone, this is Wojciech Jaworski, Yan Lixing from Shanghai, and together with me we have...
My name is Chao Yu, and I'm the partner of Pillar Legal Shanghai office. Yeah, it's great to meet you.
Likewise, we just had a pretty interesting discussion, I think. I think that over the last 3 days that I spent in Shanghai, I think I learned more about the industry than through the last at least a month spent in Europe. So would you say that actually being in here locally is important for foreign companies willing to sell their games in China?
Yeah, absolutely. I think China market is really a special market, and the Chinese culture is totally different from what you see from the Western companies or the Western cultures. And the Chinese players is kind of like unique. They have special appetites on certain type of elements inside the games, and you have to be here to listen to what the customer and the player says, and listen to the publisher here and your partner, like the marketing agencies, to look at what they are doing, and then it will be very helpful for you to know what is actually happening inside China, and which is you will not be learned from watching the news or search on internet. It's a totally different experience.
Yeah, I think you're making a very important point, because the news that we might see at, say, some most popular websites in the West, these are news that are translated once or twice from the original sources, popping up on Weibo or TapTap or Weixin, right? And so player perception is one thing, as to, important things that only after being here you find out. Player perception. What else, if we were to, point out some?
Yeah, I think it would be really great, and it would be really helpful to come here, to be here in China. For example, if you are a game developer, you really would like to have more customers, more players from China playing your game. As we just talked, China has, right now there are more than 50% of the users on Steam is using Chinese languages. Yeah. And even though there may be some of them are just like Chinese live outside of China, but they are still Chinese. We share like the same culture. So being here, I think it's a really important thing. Talking to the people here, to learn the culture, to learn what the Chinese player really cares about. It's really important for the game developers and for the studio leaders and even for the producers of the game. Like, as many of our clients, like the Chinese local game companies, they really cares about what the customer, what the player says about their games. For example, one of the reasons that why Tencent is so successful, because they develop a very comprehensive marketing survey to their customers. And now we have seen more and more game companies are doing the same. So every month they probably will send you like a survey to tell them, to let the players tell them, okay, this is our new version of the game. It's a new update. What do you think about? What do you think about it? And I think, for example, miHoYo, Genshin Impact, miHoYo did this very well. Every time I saw when I play the game, every time there's a new version, there's a new character, they will send like send a survey to the client, to the players. It is true. And I've seen other game companies like Lilith Games, Hypergriff, they all do the same. Once there's a new character, they send you a survey. So they learn from the customers, they care about what the customer says about their games, and then they make the adjustments to their content, to the character, to learn how the people are thinking. Because people are people's mind are changing, especially for the players. Sometimes they like the animation styled characters, but later, a couple of years later, they probably want someone else. So it's really, especially for those games with live operations, it's really important to know what your players is thinking at this moment, at this stage.
Very important points. Yes, actually, the fact to be able to sort of have a safety valve for the feedback to go into a sort of safe place, and to be able to take a look at it prior, like after a release and prior to next release, right? To be able to gather that is definitely a good way that I think many Western developers can learn from, because that's very often a situation that we see is just negative reviews on Steam, right?
Yeah.
And because there are no surveys, there's no BDBD channel, there is no other way to sort of just give feedback, to like give some 反馈 right?
Yes.
说到中国观众的中国玩家对游戏的一些概念呢，你觉得中国玩家和国外的玩家的最大的区别在哪里呢？
对于中国的玩家，我个人觉得目前来看，他们还是比较倾向于手机类的游戏，他们对这个 Live Op 的这种模式还是非常能够去接受并且对于这个 Free to Play 的这种形式他们是非常的这个能够接受程度比较高。这一点其实和国外的一些玩家差别比较大。对于欧洲的，对于美国的玩家，他们可能更愿意接受的是这种传统的 Premium 的游戏，不管是 PC 还是 Console 这方面，他们对这个接受程度也比较高。但是目前我们其实看到有一个趋势，就是越来越多的中国的玩家也开始逐渐的去尝试这种 Premium 的 PC Games 或者是 Console Games。所以呢，现在很多的这个大的游戏公司，他们其实都已经把中国市场就是作为一个主要的市场进行来关注，他们会设计一些元素是专门针对中国玩家的，那希望借此能够得到中国玩家的这个青睐。那么从玩家消费的习惯上面来看，我们现在觉得中国的玩家已经越来越能够接受这种 Premium， 就是付钱的这种。那这个一方面是在此之前，很多玩家是通过手游逐渐的积累他的这个游戏的这个体验，因为你知道，像游戏它肯定是希望它的游戏质量会越来越好，但是手机总归是在一个小的屏幕上面，那么随着玩家的这个游玩的，他对这个游戏他的需求越来越高，他需要更好的画面，他要更爽快的这个战斗体验，那他就会去选择更好的这个平台。所以呢，我觉得其实你看的现在这个趋势，已经中国很多玩家已经开始从手游转向 PC， 未来很可能会更多的转向 console。 对，我觉得是现在有这样子一个趋势，包括您可以看那个最近中国的这个 video game 有哪吒，有这个悟空，然后明年还有更多的，像有一个叫明末燕云16声，像这样子的这种 3A 类型的游戏，我觉得可能会越来越多的在中国的这个 studio 当中去产生。
所以希望会有越来越多独立游戏，对吧？就是因为我的意思是在独立游戏当中，因为中国有四大名著，对吧？就4个很著名的小说，然后里面有特别多非常有意思的故事。然后我觉得如果能通过游戏把它们挖出来，然后给全球的观众来讲一讲，这个非常有意思。是的，
就像西游记就是悟空， 就是哪吒的故事。悟空和哪吒都是《西游记》当中的人物，特别是悟空，他这个黑悟空，他就是源自于这个《西游记》的故事。他讲述的是在《西游记》小说结束之后，几百年之后，孙悟空他的一个情况。其实除了《西游》之外，三国也有很多的游戏，特别适合 SLG 的，像中国的灵犀互娱，就有很多的这个三国的这样子的这种玩法。那么另外两个《红楼梦》《水浒传》其实都有很多开发的空间。除此之外，还有其他的，像《封神演义》也有很多这种神话的内容。哪吒也是《封神演义》当中的一个，里面讲的就是哪吒出生的故事，和大闹龙宫，这些都是从《封神演义》当中演化出来的。那进行修改调整。那么我们在游戏其实很多方面和动画是很相似的，他们可以有很多东西可以借鉴，就把这个我们中国传统的这种文化里面的故事把它改编成游戏，确实是一个很好的，就是提供了很好的思路啊。而且因为已经大家像在中国的观众，他都已经知道了《西游记》，特别是对中国的玩家来讲，这是一个非常容易让他们接受的一些文化符号。所以就是其实越来越多的游戏开发者也已经意识到这个方面的问题，他们也就开始在很多的这个中国传统文化当中去找灵感，去把它不一定是完全做成游戏，但是从它中吸取灵感，在
角色
对一个角色或者一个场景，对这个现在非常普遍，包括国内的很多 studio 都已经在做这样子的事情。
Awesome. So if you were to say one thing to game developers willing to understand better the Chinese market, Chinese audiences, perspective, needs, what would you recommend to them?
Yeah, so what I would recommend is first come to China.
Yep.
Come to see what is happening here. For example, in Shanghai, there are a lot of industry park. Right now, the government-supported fund are supporting video game industry. So when you look outside, when I talk to many of the foreign Western investors, they are still thinking about, okay, China government do not like games. It's many of them think about that way because in the past couple of years, they do have this kind of like ISBN suspension, the children protection concerns, but things has changed. So it's actually the attitude of the normal people, including parents. They are not so opposite against the video game anymore, even though there are still concerns like, what if my kids use my cell phone to play games and charge a lot of money inside a game? What would I do, right? There are still people concerning about their kids addicted into video games, but right now, I think the overall environment has changed. People are thinking the bright side of the game. They have seen like the video game has already created a lot of job opportunities, like especially right now, the game companies are looking into overseas market. It's a very efficient way to express Chinese culture.
Yes.
Yeah, and let more foreign Western countries know about what is China. So yeah, it's the government regulator here has already noticed the game industry. It can be a good industry. It's not only harm to the children, they can also do a lot of benefits to the entire society.
Yes, I agree with that. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And let's keep in touch. Thank you.